Hey, how we doing, Patrick? I just thought that I would make a video review just because it'd be easier for me to explain some of the things that I wanted to touch on. Now, we're going to look at the first account, the Honolulu Cookie Company, and we can apply pretty much all of the strategies to all of the accounts as well, for the most part. There's going to be changes, of course, based on the data, but looking at it, let's start by taking a look at the actual ad groups. So I see two campaigns. We have the shopping campaign, and then we have the main search campaign. The ad groups are fine. In my experience, I like to break out SCAGs. And what I mean by SCAGs is a single keyword ad group. Now, if we take a look at the branded ad group, and I have that open here on this window, and the reason for me doing this is because of the 80-20 rule. I'm sure you're familiar with the 80-20 rule where, 80% of the conversions are going to come from 20% of the keywords. I find this to happen in almost every single account that I work with. Of course, there's going to be the outliers that bring in conversions as well. But for the most part, it's going to be, and we can see that here. If we take a look, there's quite a few keywords within this ad group here, which is fine. But you can see that, the bulk of the conversions are coming from these two keywords here. Now, another reason for me doing that is, relevance in terms of keeping the ad copy relevant to all of the keywords within the ad group. So let's take a look at another ad group. We can see that we have shortbread cookies. We also have macadamia shortbread cookies. We have gourmet shortbread cookies, pineapple shaped cookies as well. Now, the ads are not going to be able to reflect the themes of all of these keywords. You can use, dynamic keyword insertion, which is fine, but still, you only can use that to a certain extent. The ad is only going to be able to reflect, a certain theme. And if you were to break out each of these keywords into their own ad group, you can have a very tightly themed ad group as a whole, all the way up to the text ads. So let's actually take a look at what something like that would look like. So here's an account here. This is a pawn shop. So if we take a look, I have a bunch of different campaigns set up here. And inside of the campaigns, the keywords are broken down by ad group. So we can take a look and see. Let's just look at this one, for example. If we look at this one, let's open this in a new window. Sorry, my computer is loading a bit slow. So if we take a look at this one, we can see that the name of the actual ad group reflects the keywords that's in it. And there's just the match type variations. And eventually, I will choose to bid more based on what's going to produce the conversions, and bid less for the ones that are not producing conversions. And most of the time, the exact match produces the most conversions. But we can see that in this case, that hasn't brought us any conversions, mainly because we're not really showing high enough and we haven't gotten any clicks. But as the account progresses, this is typically what I find, that the exact matches have the better conversion rates. Of course, there's always the exceptions, but I bid differently based on the keyword. And the same thing for all of the other ad groups. These are all single keyword ad groups, and that's typically what I like to see done within all accounts, just because, like I said, when it comes down to relevance, that helps out a lot. So that's the first thing. Let's take a look at some of the other aspects of the account. Let's actually break this out. Let's see how the search partners have performed. Okay, so I'm not certain on what the CPA is, but both of these are close. But if, say, the CPA was $30, we could choose to eliminate the search partners and only show ads on Google search. Um, that'd be something that I would have to know the CPA, of course, to make a decision on. We can see that mobile devices is a lot higher than actual desktop and tablets. So mobile devices, is converting, again, depending on what the CPA is. You may want to add a negative bid modifier. Let's actually take a look and see if you have one of those in account. Okay, let's go to devices. Okay, so yeah, I see that you've taken advantage of that. Let's take a look at the ad schedule. Here's another place that you can take advantage of bid modifiers. So let's go to the dimensions tabs now. Let's get a little bit more data in here so we can make educated guesses. So if we get some more data in here and we take a look at the day of the week, we can see that okay, so Sundays has a pretty high conversion rate. Now these are roughly in the same range, so we can choose to add a positive bid modifier on Sundays, and even add a lower bid modifier on Friday, just because the conversion rate is a bit lower, and it also has a high CPA. Let's actually look at the time of the day as well, and you can add bid modifiers all the way to this level. So yeah, there's certain times throughout the day where we can make blocks of hours throughout each of the days, and add positive or negative bid modifiers to help bring in a better CPA. Let's go back to settings. Let's take a look at the bids. So we are doing manual bids now. Because this account has so much conversion data, I would recommend testing out Conversion Optimizer. Conversion Optimizer is a bid strategy, which I've seen it do wonders within accounts. You go in, you set up a targeted CPA, and Google, they have access to a lot more data points than we do. Based on the metrics within the account, and they can make better guesses on which clicks are going to convert and which ones are not going to convert. And the budget or the CPA optimizer performs well based on the data points that they have access to. Okay, we have optimized for conversion. That's good. Now let's take a look at the ad extensions. So here I see that we have call extensions enabled. So I'm assuming that calls are important. Let's segment by click type. So about 27 click to calls. Another thing that I would test is call only campaigns, if calls are that important to this company. If it is, I would definitely test out, creating some call only campaigns based on these keywords, these keywords, and also I would test out. Let's go back into the settings. Let's see if you actually. So here we got the we're targeting the United States. So let me give you an example of the household income tier. So if we go to demographics and we enter the U.S., we add that. We can choose a top 10%, 11 to 20%, 21 to 30%, and so on. We can add bid modifiers. Say the lower 50% of the households are the ones that are buying the cookies. We can add a positive bid modifier here. And that's another way that we can optimize the account. This I've seen has worked great as well. Sometimes you find certain household income tiers that perform really well. Also location. I see that you're targeting all of the U.S. and all of Canada. Now if we go to the dimensions tab, let's look at the geographic report. Let's see if there's any real patterns here. So if we look at conversions, so we see Hawaii with a lot of conversions. Let's actually break this down by cost. Okay, so there's not too many places that have driven up a lot of costs that I would be concerned about at this point. But if I was to see, a city that had, over $200 in spend with 0 conversions, then I would definitely make that a negative. But depending on CPA, we can also, put positive bid modifiers based upon the cities or zip codes. This place has a $5 or $6 CPA, Waikiki. So I would definitely add a bid modifier. So we're getting more of the impression share here. These are just a few strategies that I would implement, going into the account to try to improve it. I want to quickly take a look and see if you have started to take advantage of. Okay, so we are using the expanded ad text. That's a new feature that Google has just rolled out, and a lot of people. Let's take a look at the shopping campaign. Okay, so I see that there is only one product. I'm curious to know. If we look at the website, we can see, because there's quite a few products that are listed on the website. So I would definitely do more to get those products listed in the product listing ads, just because the cost per click is a lot cheaper in most cases than the actual search ads. So I would do more there. And also these, PLAs tend to convert better as well. I saw that you mentioned you wanted to get remarketing up and running. That'd be great to take advantage of, especially for an account like this. I did take a look at one of the remarketing campaigns that you had for Hawaii and Isles. And I see that it is only, remarketing. Let's see what you have as far as audiences. Apologies for I'm trying to keep the video, fairly short. I'm almost done. I just wanted to take a quick look at this. So I see that we're only targeting one audience list. One of the things that we could do is, create several different lists based upon the pages on the website that people visit. So let's actually take a look at the website. So we can create lists, based upon, different pages that people visit. And it doesn't have to be every single one of these. We can choose, the major sections such as decaffeinated coffees. And that can be one audience, because these different audiences convert differently. So I would definitely test running that. Also, you can create an audience based upon people that have converted. So when you have a remarketing list, Google, they will create similar audiences. So if you have an audience of people who have already converted, you can create a similar audience, and based upon those people's profiles. Okay, so we have one here. Google has already done that based upon this converters audience here. So I would definitely test running, some ads to this group of people, just because you never know. Not all accounts work the same, but I've seen similar audiences do extremely well. So these are my thoughts, going into the accounts and looking at it high level. Um, Let me know if you have any questions or need clarity about anything. I would be glad to explain. And I also have tons of accounts that can back up some of the things that I'm talking about now within this video. So again, yeah, just let me know if you have any questions at all. Hopefully this was helpful, and I look forward to working with you. Talk soon.